improve qualities. Now you can imagine in that kind of system, a drug company might be rewarded as much for not prescribing or pushing a drug as it would be for pushing a drug. And that's really because you want to provide the best service and best bundle of services for that patient at that time. May seem pie in the sky. I haven't seen too many scribbles yet about whether you agree with me or not, but there are evidence of this happening, particularly in the private sector. Cisco, the IT provider in the US, has set up a federation to look at primary care together with Cerner. So they're covering 34,000 employees, using this sort of system and demonstrating a benefit of $450 per patient per year. So it's going to come. And then we've got other various elements of how you can work with other companies. One is the virtual model, which is sort of contractual agreements. And again, we've seen a lot of rise of pharma and life sciences companies to quite substantial sizes through really operating contractual agreements. Shire Pharmaceuticals, for instance, has reached $3 billion as a search and discovery company, not a research and discovery company. So they'll go outside and look to academia, look to the biotech industry for innovation, a lot of which then they deliver through contract manufacturing and contract sales forces. And then we're seeing a lot of the venturing model as well. So this is where there's more skin in the game, either investment in return for royalties or equities coming through. And some interesting models here, and Big Pharma are beginning to explore these models as well. So Lilly, for instance, have funded 2 of their Alzheimer's drugs in phase 2 and raised $300 million from basically capital market structures, from private equity, and also from a contract research organisation, from Quintiles, who've invested in those products in return for royalties at the back end once they come to market. So really the challenges are winners who'll be able to master the cost-benefit agenda alongside the safety efficacy agenda, recognise why profit flows and why, and really being able to run effective alliance models. And we're seeing a lot of challenge in the industry now, going to more external models, more creative ways of collaborating with academia, with healthcare providers, with biotech companies. And also some big companies saying, Lilly for example, saying we're not going to have anyone on our board who hasn't done their stint in alliance management. So it's almost seen as a career development path for their executives, that they can understand how to manage assets that they don't necessarily own. People who invest for the long time, build and maintain trust, and really people who are bold enough to shape the industry. Now some companies are already making the transition. I've talked a lot about Lilly. Fresenius, who's a supplier of hospital products, has actually started buying clinics. Roche, GSK and Pfizer have all made quite fundamental changes to their R&D organisations, either to make them more nimble, more looking like and feeling like biotech, taking out decision-making layers, incentivising people in different ways, or breaking them up and externalising them. So Pfizer is an interesting one, where they've really split research from development. So development sits along the commercial business units and research sits on its own. Research has got the option to sell its research to Pfizer business units or to sell it outside. And similarly, the Pfizer business units can look inside for innovation or outside as well. So you're seeing a lot of big companies actually beginning to make this move. And I think the challenge at this point is that a lot of those trends I've described, I think, could advantage non-pharma players. So someone else could be at the hub of that federation. Now remember I said that pharma's reputation is at an all-time low, so it could be someone else at the centre there. It could be someone like a GE Healthcare, who already has a footprint in diagnostics and hospital businesses. It could be someone like a Google, someone who's really adept at aggregating information. Remember, information is going to be key to the way in which the models work in the future. As we know, Google approaches innovation in a very different way to other traditional companies and spends quite a significant amount on healthcare spends as well. They can track seasonal flu around the world. They're planning a Google depository where you can lodge your medical records, those sorts of things. And if reputation really is an issue, it could be someone with a very stretchy brand, someone like a Virgin, which despite having rubbish service for their internet providers and media companies, is just well known for doing the best thing and the right thing for its customers. Or it could be someone like an Apple, who really have redefined an industry from the inside and actually shifted power when it looks to the music and the media markets, away from the traditional providers there. So I think that's really where I wanted to leave it, and just leave it as food for thought. The healthcare industry is growing. I think companies are having to adopt new strategies, and we're beginning to see that happen. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for the people here in this room to think about new ways of collaborating with the industry and actually benefiting from a lot of these challenges that I've posed here.